Leos, what's good? Um, it's craziness. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and do the Leo videos again because I feel like just one more round, you know? Some shit's flying, some truth is falling. Okay. Leos, what's good? No me gusta. Okay, let's see what all we have. We have the fault line, the shadow, the mirror, the sustainer, the mother, the mentor, agape, and the lover. Jesus fuck. Okay. I gotta scooch things because there's a lot of cards on the table right now. I guess I want to start with, the mirror, the fault line, and the shadow. Because there's been some breaking away of things of late. And I want to say a lot of it has just been like this shattered image, this shattered idea. I don't know if my other Leos are on this vibe, but I'm like, I don't know, I just feel like tying up loose ends, you're just like, okay, I gotta make sure that I've, taking care of this and taking care of that, and, like checking all the boxes, and just like feeling like preparation is at hand. For what? Who the fuck knows? But it has had this real feel of just like making sure that that everything's taken care of, and part of that process has just been like, I almost want to say like reflecting back, like people's ideas and images of you, and like almost this like the idea of projection is what I want to say, and it's like for all of the times that like people projected things on you, Leo, and I don't think that's an uncommon occurrence. We are bright shining beings, like we're the sun, and so when we are in people's presence, we illuminate things, and when you illuminate qualities of people that they don't like, they'd love to like throw it at you, like you're the one doing it, and you're like, excuse me, no, like, stop right there, and I feel like there's just been like this idea of like tying up all these misconceptions of you, like almost like this, before I drop the mic and go, like let me just make one thing real clear to each and every one of you, and I feel like there's been this like delving into almost like the shadow side. I mean, the shadow side for me right now, Leos, is coming through as like this powerful energy, almost like that, like the idea of an eclipse, like the shadow is about to be like bust through the light so you can really hear like the facts, like the eclipse blocked the brightness of the sun and it made it digestible, like it's almost like it weakened your power enough to be perceived. That's what I feel like is happening. And I think it's illuminating truth around you, illuminating truth around yourself. I mean, I feel like the more you understand yourself, the more empowered you are with like the more at home you are and who you are, then the more light is gonna come from you, the more power is gonna be exuding from you. And it's just kind of this idea of like in your shadow finding your light, and just like I want to say just like wreaking havoc on every misconception you can get your hands on. Thorough. And then you have the mother, the mentor, the sustainer, and the lover. And you know, Leo, the idea of the mother is that, you know, you have, like, you either, there's like these, like, it's like a twofer kind of story, you know, like you have the mother that clings to her children, the mother that like she finds her identity in them and therefore like suffocates them. And then you have the mother who, you know, like raises her children up and then lets them go so that they can be their own people, you know. And it's kind of like this, like an either really like unhealthy relationship or a really healthy relationship. And I almost want to say, because Leos, like, leaders that we are, like, it was that idea of like I almost want to say, and gender neutral, but it's like, I'm not your mother. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's just been like a bunch of instances where you've like had to look at people and just be like, listen, like your issues are not my issues. And I'm not going to cling to you and cling to your issues. Like that's an issue that is not mine to handle. You know, and it's like you tried to put your issues on me so hard so many times, but fuck no. In the end, I'm in control here. You know, like, the fuck out, bitch. You know, but it's also that idea of like, coming into your power, I want to say, and like stepping into your leadership, stepping into like owning yourself, because Leos, we're confident. I mean, we ooze confidence, you know, like we walk into a room and we're confident and people don't know what to do with that. You know, they're like, why is that bitch so confident? And you're like, why are you not that confident? Isn't everyone supposed to be confident? Like, or is that just more rhetoric and propaganda that we get fed all, like, on the daily? Oh, right, you're right. It's all a lie, you know? But I feel like you've just been like, you know, on some shit lately, Leo. I love my Leos. Like my past three like best friends have been Leos. And then you have the lover and the sustainer. And you know, there's an idea here that's coming through to me, you know, like with this idea of like illumination and the mentor and the mother. Like, I almost want to say that there's an idea of freedom, you know, because I mean, Leos, we are an extremely independent species, if you will. You know, like we are totally fine on our own. Oftentimes prefer it that way, you know, and it's like, I love people and I am down for people, but like people also are a lot to deal with, you know. So it's like that, like, I think because of our own independence, we don't tend to like lock people down, you know, like we ride for them, but we don't lock them in. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to be locked in. Like, oh, are you kidding me? No, why would I do that? Like, it's a horrible thing. And I kind of get the feeling that there's this awakening to the fact that your love has nothing to do with ownership and everything to do with like sustainability. Because I think that there has been a real misconcept of who you are and your love. And I mean, Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Venus, like I love Leo. That's my style, you know, so it's big and it's over the top and it's loud as fuck, you know, but like it's there to like cheer you on, not control you. You know what I mean? And that's just like a natural attribute of Leos. We're the cheerleaders. We're the ones who wanna, you know, like we wanna rule the domain with you. You know what I mean? Like we're not there to like, I don't know, nitpick and nag, I almost want to say, you know, like, or control and manipulate. You know, I mean, I feel like there've just been like all of these like attributes that have been like thrown at you, and like it's almost like it reached an eclipse, you know. And it was like, here, like I'm gonna have an opportunity to not blind you with my light, but shoot you with some shadow real quick, you know. like let's just go ahead and get this taken care of. And you know, like, time is of the essence. And yeah, that's what's coming through here with that. Sorry. I hope y'all are doing well. I feel like, I mean, the energy is good, right? You know, like it's good energy, but I feel like it's like almost this like northern exposure is like coming to mind. I don't know. I don't think I've ever even seen that show. Isn't it a show? The Queen of Cups. And the Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I mean, okay, that makes more sense because it's like, I mean, I feel like, you know, you're kind of just like, you're like dropping truth bombs, you know, and like you're like, okay, well, you know, even a conversation of like a friendship and just being like, listen, we were never friends. You never treated me like a friend. You know what I mean? Like sorry that upsets you. You know, like how do you think it felt not like being treated like I could never be your friend for all of those years? Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like you're just like dropping it. Like, and I feel like you're hurting a lot of people. And I don't think you're doing it to be mean. I think you're doing it because you're like, I got like, listen, like I've been so disrespected and so like put down and like pushed out that like all I have left is my truth. You know what? And I'm gonna drop my truth. You know, like, and if that hurts your feelings, you know, like sorry, not sorry. I don't know. The Five of Wands, yeah. I mean, I do. I kind of get that feeling. Again, it's that like, listen, happy to, you know, like diversify your perspective. You know, like I know it's strange because diversity is typically just rhetoric, right? But yeah, I mean, I feel like there's just kind of this like, you're like, I got shit to say. And I'm gonna say it. The Hermit, the Blasted Beach, and the Six of Cups. And, you know, really and truly, I feel like there's this, like, again, the Blasted Beach, it's not like dropping those truth bombs, you know, like, bitch is jumping out. She's like, you know, like, before I go, you know, just so you know, like, this is the reality of it all. And I want to say you're causing these people to, you know, pull away and really reflect on like the reality of the circumstance. You know, like people create scenarios in their head all the time. That's not uncommon, you know, but what I think they fail to miss sometimes is they lose themselves in scenarios and they're not existent in reality. And part of that I think is because we live in this like social media culture, you know, like a digital age. So it's like you're disconnected anyways. So like it's almost like a continuation of the disconnect. And I think that when you're like bringing these truths to these people, they're stepping outside of their created stories in their heads and like looking at like factual examples, you know, because you're like, no, like let me just like factual, you know, and this is the reality of what this is all meant to me, you know, and in the end what it meant to me was, you know, like heartache and ending, you know. And it's like, please recognize yourselves in all of this, you know. I mean, I feel like there's like a sincere, you know, like you're coming at it from your heart. Leo, we operate in heart space, you know, like we're not like we're heartfelt about it, you know what I mean? Like recognize yourself in this because you're doing damage to other people, you're doing damage to yourself. And like, why are we such a stunted out, like what happened? Why is this okay? You know, like I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, let's see what else we can do here for my Leos. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Strength, the Page of Swords, the Three of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the King of Cups. Um, I mean, what this is saying is that so lions are combative, right? I mean, they take care of each other, but like lions when they play, they like bat each other, right? Um, and Leos, anybody who knows you well knows that you're, like you just like you bat at people, you're you like fucking get off your high horse, like and and I feel like there's this element of of play involved for some of these, like it's that because there's such a playfulness here. And it's just like very different from everything over there, you know. So I mean, it's just kind of like this idea of like, I mean, I almost want to say like having the strength to sit at your table. You know what I mean? Like, am I strong enough to sit at this table? Because I think the question that's been presented, is, like, can I, like, people like to think that they have power. You know what I mean? Like, they like to think that they're powerful people. But when they really have to, like, go and, like, tap on that power, like, most people don't have it. And the ones who do have it aren't always necessarily courageous enough to use it. You know what I mean? And so when you encounter somebody who has that power, there is this question of like, can I sit at their table? And I feel like, like almost like you in sharing this truth with someone, like smacked them down, and it's like now they're trying to like get to, like, can I stand back up? Instead of feeling attacked, I think that there's also an energy coming through that feels like playful. I think there might be a little bit of both, honestly, Leos. Like, y'all throwing some shit down on grand scale. Like, it could be low key, just like maybe one person you said something to. Like, high key, like you're just like dropping truth everywhere you look, but either way, there are some people who are going to be upset about this and who are going to be, like they're just going to walk away and they're going to, they're just going to be like sad about it and, like in their head, like whatever. But like in the end, they didn't bring you anything to the table anyway. So, like, but there are others who are going to have somebody who stands up, and like bats back. You know what I mean? I almost want to say like sustains the fight, because it's kind of like that idea of, I don't know why, like lions smacking each other is in my head right now, but it's what it is, so whatever, we'll go with it. The sustainer, but it's kind of that idea of like sustaining a fight. Like, it takes two to tango, you know what I mean? Like, it takes two people to really like push. I mean, you can always push yourself, I mean, hopefully you do push yourself, but like when you have somebody there to like push you and push against you and push with you, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a whole different, like, it's like, it feels active, it feels sustained, it feels free. It's like Freebird, and I'm happy with the fact that there's just a couple of birds chilling right here. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're just kind of, you're like going through this like truth bomb thing, and then like somebody bats back, and I think that when they do, you're just like guzzling it. I mean, I think you're just like fucking, like, whew. Yeah, I want to say about that. Um, let's see what else we can get from the Leos. I feel like there's not a whole lot coming out, honestly. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, it does, Leo. It does kind of feel like there's this bounce back, that there is this this movement, this growth, like this illumination. I think on just what relationships mean to you, what love means to you, what character means to you, what's the point of what we're all doing? Why are we here? You know what I mean? Are we really here to just screw people over left and right and treat them like they're dirt? And you know what I mean? Is that why we're here? I mean, it seems to be like a common thread amongst humanity, and it's just kind of this idea of finding someone who you can sustain, I want to say that playfulness with, but also a sincerity of safety, and because I mean, Leos, we are very, we're loyal, diehard people, which means we want people to be loyal and diehard with. You know what I mean? That's just on our nature, and so I think that when you find this, I want to say, it's almost as though to say that when you really stand and bear yourself, that it goes away, it makes the fakeness disappear. When you stand in your truth wholly, and when you stand in your truth wholly, you're able to actually really do what it is that you want to do, because you're not coming in as a fractured version of yourself. You know what I mean? And there is kind of an idea of falling in love with yourself too. I mean, I just kind of I feel a 10 of Cups vibe right now. Love's just pouring out everywhere. Six of Swords. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of that idea of somebody seeing the light at the the light of the tunnel, coming out of the darkness. I mean, it's just this idea of coming out of the darkness, and I do kind of still even still get the idea, the image of the lions, and just coming up in their strength, coming up in their power. Emerging from the cave, emerging from the darkness. This I mean, the Four of Pentacles is the idea of making a home, but there's just something so free and open, and this home has space to, you feel there's room in there to breathe. But Leos, of course, because you wouldn't have it any other way, because you are the ruler of your your heart and your home, and it doesn't go any other way but that way. I love it. Let's do one more archetype and we'll call it a read. Temple. The temple is an idea of what do you worship? And I do kind of feel there's been this transition for you, Leo, of not worshiping at your own temple, allowing other people to block you from seeing yourself in a way. You know what I mean? You cared so much about their opinion that you lost vision of yourself. And, that's not their fault, that's your fault, but it's kind of this once you pulled away and you really just kind of like stepped into your truth and you went back and you like dropped the bomb, like the truth bomb on everybody, you know, it was kind of like this idea of like this is my temple. You know, like I feel like there's just an element of like I'm not worshiping at your temple. This is my temple. You know, like get it straight. Um, and that's what I mean. That's what I feel like. You know, but again, it goes back to that idea of like Leo's. It's like in my house. You know, like we operate in love and freedom, and you know what I mean, like and understanding. Like in my house, that's how we operate. If you are not in my house, then get the fuck out of my house. You know what I mean? Um, and I think that there's an idea of you know somebody rising into their power and standing up as a lion, which is dope. I like it. All right, cool. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.